Welcome back to Chennai's Ace. We're here right at the Nungambakam Stadium where the last and final match is happening. Leander Paes, Mahesh Bhupathi versus Martin and of course Haas. But first we're going to go over to the Indian surge of singles players in 2010. Now there was a huge surge that came in, but at the same time in 2011 with Somdev, Yuki Bambri and of course Rohan Bopanna, they kind of disappointed us, especially with them going out in the first round and Somdev especially going out to a player which was first time that he entered in the first draw in an ATP event. So we give you all that lowdown right here.
The defending champion Marin Cilic won't complete his hat-trick in Chennai Open. Not this year anyway. The Croatian was outplayed by the rising Japanese player Kei Nishikori 4-6, 7-6, 6-2 in the very first round. The way Cilic had started the game, it was impossible to imagine he would surrender the way he did towards the end. Nishikori had beaten the world number 14 the last time they met in a second round US Open marathon. But the big shocker was when world number 30 Richard Gasquet lost to Bon Pao in a three-setter. It was a remarkable win for Pao as he was down and out at one stage, trailing by a set and 2-5 in the second. But finally, after 2 hours and 31 minutes, the match ended in the Germans' favour. But the biggest upset of the tournament was the defeat of the top seed Thomas Berdych, a finalist at the 2010 Wimbledon. Berdych, who was expected to win Chennai Open, was topped by Switzerland's Stanislas Wawrinka 6-4, 6-1 in the semi-finals.
That is a glorious.
In Chennai, with Sudarshan Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
Well, this Chennai Open was actually about top-ranked players crashing out where ranks really didn't matter in this year's Chennai Open. Well, absolutely unexpected and unknown, the young and constantly happy tennis player Nishikori from Japan shocked us all at the stadium by thrashing Alejandro Falla, the man who gave FedEx a run for his money in a three-setter match and gaining many fans in that process. Well, he spoke candidly about his strategy to place Tipsarevic and lots more.
Do you think Falla took you for granted really after he won that first set and he got flustered after the second? And do you think that did you predict it would go to the three-setter?
Actually, I wasn't playing well today. I was hitting so many mistakes until 3-love in the second set, and I start finding, like where I played, and I was starting playing well in the second set.
All right. Also, now that you're going to be looking forward to Tipsarevic's match, what do you have to say about his gameplay, really? Have you taken note of the kind of player he is?
Not yet. I'm going to talk to my coach today. I never play him, and he's been playing great last year, end of last year. And yeah, he's really steady on grand strokes, so I have to do well than today.
All right. Also, tell us a little bit about your strategy. Now, you mentioned that usually you go down in the first set and after that you come back fighting. Is that a strategy that you usually use to throw off your opponent?
No. Hopefully I can finish 2 sets. It would be great. But, I mentally something wrong with, starting first set. And I start really slowly and start getting rhythm in the second set, but I have to change it. That's my one of goal to play good from the start.
Well, like Natasha said earlier, Indian tennis did witness a huge surge in 2010. Somdev Varman's brilliant performance in the Commonwealth Games and at the Asian Games, and the Indian team's good show in the Davis Cup playoff. But 2011 has not started off well for them as Indian singles players saw huge disappointment at the Chennai Open.
Somdev Varman, Rohan Bopanna and Yuki Bambri got direct entry into the main round of the Chennai Open. And seeing their performance in 2010, a lot was expected from them. But unfortunately, these stars crashed out in the very first round. The first to exit, the former Australian Open champion in the junior category, Yuki Bambri. The Delhi player was playing his first Chennai Open. He looked nervous. The pressure of international tennis showed on him. He lost to a Russian qualifier. The second Indian player to go was Davis Cup hero Rohan Bopanna. he faced a tough opponent, playing the first round with world number 21 Stanislas Wawrinka. Fans expected surprises, but Bopanna went down without a fight, 4-6, 4-6. The last hope, Chennai's Somdev Devvarman, a finalist at the 2009 Chennai Open, also failed. He was defeated by the Belgium baby-faced David Goffin in the straight set, 6-2, 6-4 as well.
Let me see. After analyzing today's match, I think I'd like to improve my serve. First and second, forehands, running forehands, inside-out forehands, forehand returns, backhands, backhand returns, volleys, pretty much everything.
For sure, Chennai Open was an acid test for the young Indian guns, but it would be interesting to see how they perform throughout the season after this debacle. In Chennai with reporter Sudarshan, Lokpriya, NDTV Hindu.
Well, Mahesh Bhupathi and Leander Paes are currently playing the third set and are at the moment trailing behind 2-4 with Haas and Martin there. Well, reporter Natasha also got talking to tennis legend Vijay Amritraj and Paddy, who are both now commentators for the Chennai Open there. Well, Natasha, certainly in a tournament especially like the Chennai Open, what is really more interesting is what goes on behind the commentating box because of that, perhaps that personal touch you have with those Indian players. So what did you take off from them?
Well, Divya, the only thing I can say is the fact that Vijay Amritraj and Padamjeet, otherwise known as Paddy, gave us the whole truth and nothing but the truth from the commentator's box. Well, we are at the Nungambakam Stadium right here in Chennai, and if you're wondering who you're listening to on your television screens on 10 Sports, behind the scenes really, talking about all the tennis matches, we're with them right now. And that's Vijay Amritraj and, of course, Padamjeet. Thanks so much for talking to us. Now, really, what happens in the commentator's box? The fun, probably the slip-ups a little bit here and there, the bloopers. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, the advantage is we know very little at the end of the day. We do a lot of sandwich eating. We like puffs, vegetarian puffs. We enjoy that a lot. And a lot of soft drinks. And then I listen to Paddy.
And what about you? You're being really modest, I must say.
No, but seriously, that's exactly what we do. It's the other person's supposed to have all the information. I come out there and try to look good. It's a real stretch. It takes me all day to get myself together to come out and to work and try to look good. Right, Paddy?
See if you've already done 41 Wimbledon, you just don't need to carry anything with you. It's people like me who actually, I carry this much a file, this thick a file. I have around 50, 60 pages, as does Raman, my colleague. And but see, it's brilliant to share space with someone like him. It's absolutely a learning experience. And the wonderful thing is, humility. I mean, see, you should once. Why are greats greats? They are greats only because they love to be humble. And that is the kind of pride least likely to offend. I mean, you can learn so much from this man.
Now, speaking of this particular relation, the partnership that you probably share up there in the commentator's box, do you ever disagree upon certain issues? And then, when there's a break, would you crack up on it together? What's the situation up there?
Well, on a general basis, we play our separate roles, which is the way usually two commentators work. One does play-by-play, the other does color, which is the way a commentary team works in tennis. And usually the expert, the supposed expert, talks about the nuances of the play, whereas you get a lot of other admin work, which is a lot of that stuff that comes out there with play-by-play or a presenting role. So we try to play our roles. But the interesting factor this time has been Hawkeye.
Wonderful. For the first time in the ASL Chennai Open. And I would like to give you a live demo as to what he means by lead and color. Lead is supposedly, I'm the lead. When he's around, he can only be color because he's the expert. So it's like, supposedly this is the lip mic. If I can hold the mic?
Yep.
This is the lip mic, and I say, hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching right here. Everyone, very warm welcome. This is the ASL Chennai Open 2011. An absolutely wonderful match. Brilliant comeback by Leanne Hirsch, isn't it, Vijay? And then Vijay takes over.
That's about right. That's about right.
Continue
but
now.
I try very hard to say less because I always feel in commentary less is more. But at the end of the day, what we try to do is two things. At least what I try to do is two things. One is the person who enjoys tennis needs to know what's happening as far as the 15-30 situation, what's going through their head, and so on and so forth. But I try to bring in the viewer who's not interested in tennis. with some other tidbits that they may be interested in. What did Maria Sharapova's dog have for dinner last night? Or where did she go shopping? Or who's the new girlfriend? Or whatever else you want to talk about. So try to make it a little bit more interesting for the viewer who's not actually watching.
For example, Anand, Sir's brother, he talks a lot about, what was his name, the player who lost the match just now? See, Tipsarevich's wife, she's so stunning. And she's a television anchor herself. All television anchors are beautiful, aren't they?
Well, moving away from
Absolutely.
And well, at the centre courts at the doubles final, a thriller of a match is being played by Bhupathi and Leander Paes there. Well, the scorers at the moment are 6-5, and the serve is on Haas and Martin. Well, this year Chennai Open also saw ticket sales going online. Did it go down well with the crowd? Find out more after the break.